Alright guys, what is going on? So in this video, I want to give you guys a quick crypto market update. So I haven't done one of these in a little while and I love doing them, so I figured why not share my thoughts with you guys. So for those of you that have been paying attention to the crypto markets, you will have seen that over the last, it might be like 4 or 5 months now, since we've been on this big decline since the tariff news came out, we haven't really seen anything too strong come out of the crypto market. We haven't seen any really strong moves. It seemed like we were making a comeback a couple times. I think some coins went up 30 or 40%, which seemed like they were strong at the time. But all that happened afterwards was they just got beaten down and we ended up exactly where we started off at, which is not the most motivating thing to see, but it's the reality at the moment. So what am I thinking right now? Because obviously we've had a couple fake breakouts basically. It seemed like things were turning around. They didn't turn around. A lot of people were kind of expecting by now that we would kind of have this bull run feeling back and that things would be back on track again. For me personally, I'm looking at everything going on and thinking, how much of the price action is actually because of things like the war, because of the tariffs, etc.? How much of it is actually just because of basically market manipulation? And how much is just because maybe this cycle's over? So when I say how much, maybe I'm talking more about the lack of action. Why has there been almost a lack of action when we're meant to be mid-bull run? Well, of course, the world has been a bit crazy recently, and yesterday it got even crazier, unfortunately. But to me, I don't know how much really a conflict in the Middle East is going to affect crypto. In reality, last cycle, the world was a bit of a mess. It was COVID, everything was shut down, all the economies were shut down, and the only kind of economic stimulus, I guess you could say, was basically the money being printed. Now, a lot of people are very scared. They're thinking, oh, this time round, now that there's the wars and all of these different things, I think that maybe the bull run's over. Maybe we're just, this is the start of the bear market. We're going to see a gradual decline and this cycle's over. And that could very well be true. I do not believe it's true, but at the moment, I'm not seeing anything to really show me otherwise. But I'm an optimist, so I'm staying very optimistic about it because I know in crypto, all it really takes is one thing like that and the market is just set off. So only one little thing has to change and we're back in the game. Now, this might be a bit of a contrarian take or different to what other people are saying, but a lot of people are saying, because of the war, this means that crypto basically will not be able to basically get enough momentum behind it, won't get enough room to breathe because every time something starts to happen, some bad news comes out, missiles start flying and things start basically just going bad all over. It's like whenever we get some momentum, the wind just gets taken out of the sails. In my opinion, I don't think the war is actually going to be the worst thing for the markets, which sounds really, really bad, but just stay with me. So my logic behind it is this. Last cycle, what was the number one key driver that sent crypto to the moon? It was the increase in the M2 money supply. It was the fact that there was so much more money in the world, so much money getting printed, and that money eventually found its way into assets. It found its way into the stock market, into the real estate market, and into the crypto markets. Well, what happens when there's a war? Someone has to pay for the war, right? We all know the saying when people say, war is great business, people make a lot of money, certain people make a lot of money, certain companies. And it's true, to fund a war, those missiles cost millions. All the different things cost billions and billions and billions to fund, to pay for. So what does that mean? If the world is going in this kind of direction, hopefully it doesn't, hopefully this all calms down. But if it does go in this kind of direction, I'm thinking that basically there's just going to be a whole lot of money printing coming up. In addition to the war and the war needing to be funded, even if, for example, America is not directly in the war, they're giving money to Israel, Europe's giving money to Israel, Maybe China and Russia might give money to Iran. Money's coming from somewhere and it's going to go to different places. Usually that money is going to be new money that's been printed, because I don't think the governments just have so much money sat around like we think they do. I think they tend to print new money and then send it off to these places, which does not really benefit us in any way, as we just get more inflation. But in addition to that, I think we've kind of seen recently, especially since Elon Musk and Trump had the little falling out, we've kind of seen that, oh, the USA really might not be salvageable. It really kind of, we might just be waiting for doomsday, basically. I think, by the way it seems, the fact that Elon's basically said, guys, I can't save you. Like, I've tried my best. The big new bills come out. All it's going to do is double the debt. There's nothing I can do. I gave it a full shot. Everyone hated me for it. Then all they've done is come and release new spending, which is just going to make the problem worse and worse and worse. So what's the point? The end is imminent, basically. If that's the case, that's good for crypto. Unfortunately, as bad as it sounds, all that means is money is going to continue to be printed, debt is going to continue to go up, and basically this cycle is just going to continue and continue and continue, which is terrible for the world. But it basically is what it is. It can't be changed. Elon's gone in there to change it. It hasn't got changed. We know what's happening, basically. It's unsalvageable. They're just going to keep doing the same thing again, until basically something cracks and the whole system falls down. Hopefully not within our lifetime, but we'll see. So, what am I thinking right now about this cycle? These things could be longer term things. They might not even really affect this cycle if things calm down a lot. So, what about this cycle? I believe that we really need to watch over the next 6 months to see if we go back into bull mode. Because if we don't have a big run in the next 6 months, we can basically discount the 4-year cycle theory. That is gone now. And with the 4-year cycle not really working in our favor, this turns crypto into a whole different ball game. Because before, most of us create our strategies around the 4-year cycle. So if the 4-year cycle is no longer valid, everyone basically, or most of the people in crypto, are going to have to completely rethink their strategies. Now, for those that simply just hold Bitcoin and buy and wait and don't plan on selling it, that's absolutely fine. That is your strategy, it's done. You don't need to worry about whether the price goes up or down. But for those of us that hold altcoins, we're going to have to rethink things, because unfortunately, altcoins do not do very well in a bear market. They do not do very well if the prices, if we're not in a very strong, if we don't have a lot of momentum and the markets are all moving up. Altcoins just tend to go down and down and down. They continue bleeding, and it just basically doesn't stop. Now, I don't think all the top altcoins are suddenly just going to bleed out. I believe we're going to have a last run. But if we really don't get it within the next 6 months, I'm going to have to start rethinking my strategy, basically. And I think most of us will be. So it's one of those situations where we're just going to have to wait and see. There is nothing we can do at this time. If I had more cash flow right now, I would be buying more, if I'm 100% honest with you. But I'm trying to build my cash flow up. There's a couple of things I need to pay off. So buying more crypto is not my priority. But me being me, once I have more cash flow, I will continue buying in. Even under these kind of conditions, to me, this is the perfect time to buy, because the worse the conditions get, the more opportunity there is to pick things up at good prices. I'm not telling anyone else to copy what I do. Right now, we really don't know what's going to happen to the prices of the cryptocurrencies. But like I said, I'm always optimistic. And if I have money lying around and crypto prices are low, I'm always going to buy, because I believe in it. And I believe it's one of the best opportunities of our generation. But that's just me. So guys, let me know what you think down in the comments below. Like the video, and I'll catch you again in the next one.